Hello and welcome to the Crypto Sky podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Today we've got another amazing episode. I recently conducted an interview with bitcoinbella. For those of you who are not familiar with her, Bella is a really cool lady who has recently started her own law firm and has been investing in crypto for a while now. We had an amazing chat and Bella managed to keep me engaged and laughing the entire time. I really believe you guys will enjoy this episode. But before we get to Bella, I'm excited to announce I will be attending Cryptolina, a cryptocurrency conference in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'd absolutely love to see you there, and if you're interested in attending, you can use the promo code C S25 for 25% off your ticket price. Now, without farther ado, let's get into the interview. Hello, Bella. I want to say thank you for coming on the podcast and welcoming you.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
All right, so talk a little bit about your background and then also touch on how you got into crypto.
So, my background is in the legal field. I have many years practicing as a lawyer. For the most part, I was a civil defense attorney. So, we did a lot of litigation in the courts. Mostly, I defended doctors and hospitals and things like that. That's what I did for many years. And now I have my own law firm with a partner. I started last year. And he was the one that got me into crypto, actually. And so he taught me about it. And so, we have a part of our firm is a foray into crypto. And then the other part is still litigation on my side. Yeah.
Okay, so what has that process been like, starting your own law firm and then also getting into crypto with law?
It has been challenging but fun. There's so many different things that I love about being able to work for myself. One of them is I make my own decisions and I don't have to really answer to anybody, besides the client. But I'm the one that advises them on what I want to do, or how to move forward and things like that. So being my own boss is really nice. In terms of business management, I never really was a business person because I was really just focusing on the law when I was working for someone else. The challenging part of having your own law firm is that you have to also balance the books, and do marketing and get clients, and I don't have as many resources as I had before working for a corporation. So I have to kind of figure things out on my own, but I'm doing it and I like it. It's very challenging.
Yeah, definitely. So when I reached out to you, you're actually going to Japan, is that right?
That's true. I went to Japan.
What was that trip like?
It was amazing. Everything there was so different. The people are very polite. Everything was very tidy, and it did look like everybody was working a lot because I saw people in suits all day long, even up until midnight on the train, coming home from work and stuff. So I know that they have a very good work ethic. The food was amazing. What I thought was fun was that a lot of the advertisements and everything, it was all like anime and cartoons. So even things such as like government signs on how to be polite or that you should be courteous in the train station was really just a cartoon, so everything was very sweet like that. I saw a couple of Bitcoin advertisements, which was really interesting to me, and they were in the big areas such as Shibuya. So yeah, it was advertisements for exchanges, Bitcoin exchanges. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So, do you think having a law background has kind of helped you made the transition into crypto? Do you think it helps you in any ways?
Yeah, I mean, I think I probably didn't answer your first or second question thoroughly enough about like me actually getting into crypto. But in terms of, and I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but in terms of like helping me every day, just making decisions, I think My background helps me with critical thinking. So yeah, I think when you see maybe a coin that might be exciting or interesting, I believe that I'm able to kind of look at it a little bit further and question it, which is, something that people without a lot of background definitely would be able to do. But I know that it's taught me to have a good reading comprehension, maybe figure out what I'm actually investing in, um, and just question everything. Look at worst case scenarios and kind of make decisions based on what is the worst thing that can happen here.
Okay. So, yeah, like you mentioned, go a little deeper into the process of you actually getting into crypto.
Sure. So, yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, my law partner is involved in the blockchain. He went to Blockchain Academy in London and went to Consensus a few times and told me about it. So I just got really excited about everything that he was telling me, and I invested in cryptocurrencies myself, such as Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin. And then once I found out that there were different kinds of crypto assets, I went on the exchange and bought some. Some of the bigger ones, the larger market caps that I was learning about. Um, and that led me to researching more and then, getting on Twitter a little bit later on in the year and learning about kind of smaller market cap coins that you could invest in and kind of see them get bigger. Yeah, so that's how I got into crypto. And slowly we're trying to integrate crypto into our firm. Um, my partner's building an app, and I'm helping him with it. Um, and once we have things going, I'll be able to make some some bigger, I guess, announcements.
Okay, that sounds cool.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, how did your Twitter kind of come along? Bitcoin Bella, how did you kind of build a community and where did you start as far as Twitter?
Um, it just kind of happened on accident, actually, because I was really not planning on trying to get followers. That really wasn't my aim. I didn't even know that, I didn't even think anything like that could ever happen to me. I have a private Twitter account that I had been using for a long time just for news and maybe following comedians and things like that. Um, so once I learned about all these different cryptocurrencies, I was searching on the internet. I couldn't really find too many things that had a lot of information on a lot of crypto at the same time, or what other people were saying about it. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And at the time, I didn't know about Bitcoin Talk and those kinds of things, and Reddit and things. So I went on Twitter, and then I saw that there were all these different people that were using funny avatars with funny names. And actually, that really made me excited about it. I thought it was so hilarious. So I started my own in November, and I used an avatar like just from one of those Bitmojis. It was me. Yeah, it doesn't even really look like me, but it was me and an egg or something like that. And I was just tweeting, and I didn't really know the etiquette of Twitter, and I didn't know really what I was doing, but I would just see these big accounts, and I would like tweet at them, or I would just um, make jokes and things like that. I didn't think anybody was listening, but a few people started following me, like Bitcoin Dude and Crypto Fungus. A few people followed me when I only had 50 to 100 followers, and I just kept tweeting because I was bored and excited about crypto, and I really didn't have too many other people to talk to besides my business partner. Um, so I would go on Twitter and then like tweet at people, and that's where my outlet was at.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Okay, so what do you think was the biggest mistake that you personally made when you were first getting into crypto?
Um, I didn't have a plan on what I was going to do. So, for instance, my business partner, I keep bringing up, but it's because he was like my main source of information besides Twitter. Told me about a coin, and I was really excited about it because I was excited about the project, and it was made safe, which is like, yeah, I think it's similar to like a decentralized internet or something like that, and they've been working on it for a really long time. I thought that the premise was so exciting that I just went into Poloniex. I logged in and I bought a bunch of it but I didn't realize, and I didn't even know what I was looking at, which was that it was, I think it was at its all-time high or close to it. So I bought a bunch, and if I would have just held it, I think I probably would still be fine. But I got too excited when I saw that all these later on, like a few months later, that all these other coins were pumping, and I thought, oh well, maybe I can just sell it at a loss, and then I can buy other coins, and then I'll make up for it. And I mean, I don't know if that's really happened, but I don't like. I don't feel like I should have done that. I probably should have made a plan on. Yeah, I have no issue with buying made safe at the top if that's what happened to me, but I should have just said my plan is to hold this for however long, and I should have just held it and stuck with my plan. So throughout that last year of investing in things and trying to trade, thinking I was like going to be some kind of crazy day trader or swing trader, was like another part of that aspect of things that I did wrong. But not having a plan on how I'm going to move forward was the biggest problem, I think. And I don't know if that's something that you can plan for, because this space moves so fast, and price fluctuations are so huge that you get excited. So you kind of have to make a mistake before you can learn a lesson.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think is the biggest obstacle that people who are trying to enter the space today face?
I think that people really need to do their own research. I mean, I know everybody says it over and over again, especially on crypto Twitter. We even have, I think it's called an acronym, DYOR, do your own research. And a lot of people don't want to do that. So they just hear other people talking about coins, or they see that a coin's price is high and then they want to FOMO into it. That's another saying that we use, and it means fear of missing out. They see that it's raising and surging, and then they buy it, and that's actually the time that you're probably shouldn't be buying it. So I think what newer people need to do, if they want to, I know people will not take this advice, but is to, number one, make a plan, step back, move slowly, figure out what you're actually investing in, because that's your real money, right? It's not a joke. So figure out how much you're willing to lose, because you literally could lose it all, and slow down, enter a trade, knowing what you're buying, knowing where it's at in its market cycle, and just being patient.
Yeah, definitely. So something that has kind of surprised me is how really supportive most of the community is. Kind of touch on that, and then maybe mention a few people who have really helped you.
Oh yeah, I feel like if you give to this community, they really give back. If you're kind to people, they will be kind back to you. So every single person that I've ever asked for any help has given me help. And they've reached out to me to see if I needed help, especially with my YouTube videos that I do. So some supportive people. Let's see. Is that the question? The question is, who are some supportive people? Okay, well, I have some regulars on my YouTube show, and one of them is Altcoin Godson.
Okay.
I think he's great because he is willing to give you advice, or I mean, it's not financial advice because you can't give that, but he will give you a lot of information with very much candor, and he is not afraid of telling you the truth. And he has a good historical memory of what has happened in the past years because he's been in this space for a long time. And the same thing is with my friend Dumb. He's really good at mining, and he will tell you. I literally had a show of just me asking him questions about mining, and me not really understanding anything, but him being so patient that, even if I literally said something totally wrong, he didn't make me feel stupid about it. And just explain what was going on. So a couple of those people, I have a few friends that are in the Discord that I'm in, which is the bag holders in. And one is Crypto J Simpson, the other one Fungus that I was talking about. Crypto Keck, he's really good at charting. He's learning, but he's really good. He makes the charts look easy. And Sabotage Beats, he's really into Doge. They helped me with a few questions I had about like markets and especially the Doge market because I'm kind of interested in getting into it. So there's a lot of really friendly, kind people that will just help you if you ask them. Sometimes they'll even offer help.
Yeah, definitely. So, kind of touch on your personal strategy. I know we talked and you mentioned you were more of an investor. Kind of touch on that.
Okay, because I'm not good at TA, I don't know it yet. I decided that day trading is the worst possible thing that I could ever do. So my plan now is that right now I'm invested in a bunch of different altcoins, and I do still hold a big percentage of Bitcoin. And it is basically to enter into a trade when a coin is at its low, low section or low area where if you can zoom out on a chart and you can see like an all-time high versus an all-time low.
Yeah.
If the coin is at the low area, I will enter the trade if I like the coin, and then I'll just wait. So, if it takes me months or years, I'm willing to do that. But so I think that's kind of where I'm at. And in terms of like getting out of the trade, a lot of new people especially have this question is, well, when are you supposed to sell, right? In January of 2017, there was a big altcoin surge, and they called it alt season at the time. I messed up because I didn't even sell anything. I sold a couple small bags, but I didn't sell any of my bigger ones because I don't know, they could call it greed, but I really didn't know because some of them were newer projects and they didn't have a market cycle, so I couldn't see if they were at the top. But my new plan is, even if I don't know if it's the all-time high, I'm just going to go ahead and sell a portion of it so that I can get my initial investment back. Yeah. And then once you get your initial investment back, then the rest is just easy cheesy, right? You can either hold it, sell it off in pieces if you have enough, or sections, and then, or just wait and see if it moons. I'm okay with a coin going to zero if I've already gotten my initial investment back. If I think that there's a possibility that it's going to moon at some point in the future. So I'm willing to wait. I'm not really that scared.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. That's actually a strategy that I've kind of been implementing. Some of my smaller bags, once I get my investment back, just leaving the rest there and seeing what happens.
Right? Because how bad would you feel if it 100x one day
Yeah.
and you sold it, for like a 5x or a 10x or something, which would still be great, but it's not life-changing, right? On the other hand, I know a lot of people who have a lot of bags and they actually do that so that they can just keep getting more bags. And that's a good strategy as well. But I'm excited for a potential moon for any coin. So yeah, I'm okay waiting for that.
So you mentioned you weren't great on the TA side. So do you kind of rely more on fundamentals, more on FA?
I would say so. I am taking lessons online on Baby Pips.
Okay.
It's a free website that is actually focused on the Forex market, which is kind of similar to cryptocurrency because it's kind of open like almost all the time. And there's lots of other similarities. But I would say that I'm not going to become good at TA. There's just no way in the near future. And so I do rely on fundamentals. It's kind of an overall process of just looking and seeing is what I'm investing in something that I'm excited about. Is it something that I understand? A lot of them I don't, but there's a few that I'm really excited about that I do understand. And so, it's fundamentals. It is a little bit of marketing. If it looks cool, I'll be more interested in it. And if it's a low market cap, there's more room to grow.
Okay. Yeah, and that's something I wanted to ask you. Do you prefer to invest in more larger cap coins or more smaller cap coins?
Um, at the moment, I do like smaller cap coins because I'm interested in what could happen.
Okay.
But I do have holdings that are in bigger market caps, and those seem to be more. I wouldn't say stable, but I would say they're better bets, not going away anytime soon.
Okay, so what's maybe a sector that you're really bullish on for the rest of this year, whether it be decentralized exchanges or interoperability or maybe privacy coins? Do you have any of those?
Um, Let me think. I I haven't forayed into any privacy coins, but I can see how they would be interesting to people. Um, Not in terms of like not paying your taxes or anything, because you should always do that. But I just like the fact that you can spend it without people seeing what you're actually doing spending it on, because Bitcoin is very traceable, and there's a lot of other coins that are as well. But the one weird thing that I'm actually kind of, I wouldn't say bullish, but I'm interested in is AI,
Okay.
artificial
Yeah.
intelligence. Yeah. So there's one coin, Deep Brain Chain, that I've invested in. That's really interesting. It's not actually AI itself, but I think it is like a platform for getting information to AI companies. So I don't know. I think it's kind of futuristic and scientific, and it's sexy, I guess. So I'm kind of interested in it.
Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned Deep Brain Chain. What are a couple other projects that maybe aren't huge that you really like?
um, some that excite me are let's see, Proppy. That is land title on the blockchain.
Okay.
It's kind of, that one's not sexy at all. That one's kind of really boring. But I can see how there's problems with um, record keeping of land title in each and every city, or county where the records are kept. So it's kind of an important aspect of just like everyday life. So that's kind of exciting to me. So that's called Proppy. What else? Block tickets is exciting. That's tickets on the blockchain for events and things like that. Yeah, I think it's going to assist in, like, when you resale a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend, I think, actually bought a ticket to Jay-Z or something like that. And once they got to the venue, her and maybe 2,000 other people found out that they had all bought the same ticket from a scammer.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I think the technology in block tickets will be able to, keep people from doing things like that. That's kind of exciting. It's easy things that I can understand because I'm a simple-minded human being.
Oh, definitely. So, why do you think that we've kind of seen this real bearish market the past couple months? Do you think this is just a healthy correction, or do you think maybe this is institutional money kind of trying to suppress the price? What are your thoughts?
Um, I wish I knew more about financial markets because I don't really understand them, but it would seem to me, just in common sense wise, is that once um, the futures markets came into play, everything was a little bit suppressed, right?
Yeah.
Um, so that happened. And then also, there's all this FUD that's always happening in the news. And I do think, yeah, a lot of the big money is trying to get in, and they do have to suppress the market so that they can purchase at the price they want. So I'm not exactly sure how that happens, but I know that it does happen. And I know that Bitcoin and other cryptos are not going away. So for the price to be lower, it has to be some reason, right? But does anybody really know? I mean, it could also just be market cycles. Who knows? Or maybe somebody does know, but it's not me. That's just my suspicion.
Okay. So, do you think we've seen a full reversal and we're now kind of starting to see alt season and more of a bullish market?
I think so. This alt season, if this is alt season, is definitely different than the last one. The last one was so quick and it was so fast and everything just pumped. and surge so much. If that was alt season, then that's what I was hoping for this time around. But right now, every day I see an increase, and I am seeing green every day, but it's really in small percentages. Like it'll be 1% here, 3% there. A few of my coins have pumped, 10%, 20% a day. So I see movement, and if you pay attention, then you'll see it as well. Lots of green. I'm hoping that things are just going to go nuts and we can all get rich, but that might not happen.
Yeah, that would be nice.
hmm Yeah.
So, are you long-term bullish on Bitcoin? Do you fully believe in it long term?
Um, I'm constantly changing, so
Okay.
changing my mind. Not not fully, but um, the more I learn, the more I kind of take into other accounts, like other people's perspectives and things like that. At first, I thought that there's no way that Bitcoin could go away, and I still kind of do believe that, just because that there's a limited value or there's a limited amount. Yeah, there's a limited amount. Everybody has it. I mean, everybody wants it. Institutional money is in it already. And so I don't see it going away. But in terms of what people think it's going to be used for, I'm not exactly sure. I could see other coins being used as everyday currencies.
Okay.
And in fact, one of my Twitter followers and friends, Zach, he posted a picture of himself in New York City. I think it was New York City, standing at a restaurant where he paid with Bitcoin. But the picture that he showed was him standing next to a window, and it had the Bitcoin sign, but it also had like 20 other cryptos.
Okay.
So I don't know. I could foresee a future where a lot of different cryptos are accepted and used as currencies, and maybe there isn't just going to be one. I don't know. That's probably not really your question. Your question was like, am I bullish on Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, I am bullish on Bitcoin being here and staying. I don't think it's going away, and I don't think it's going to crash and burn up. But in terms of being used every day in different markets and things like that, or in different like sectors of commerce, I think there could be a future with a lot of different cryptos just being used, and maybe not one as the number one.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. So, if you personally had to choose one coin and hold it for 10 years, what would that coin be?
It would definitely be Bitcoin.
Okay.
Yeah, Bitcoin BTC.
Not Bitcoin Cash?
Probably not Bitcoin Cash. I don't have a problem with Bitcoin Cash, but I just think it's another altcoin,
Okay.
in my opinion. I would hold Bitcoin.
Okay. So, what are a couple of the biggest surprises that you faced along your journey through the crypto space?
Some surprises that I face. That's a really good question. I think the surprise that I'm being interviewed by you today is not anything that I would ever have thought would happen in my life. The fact that there's 12,000 people following me on Twitter is really amazing, and that people are so kind and so nice. Yeah, the response I get is 99.999% amazing responses and kindness and funny jokes and everything. I just love it so much. That's the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. In terms of the space, every day there's something crazy that happens. If it's not Twitter drama between OGs, original people who've been in the space for a long time, if it's not that you would never have, you never think that they would fight with each other, or something on the news, like CNBC promoting Ripple or something like that, or
Yeah.
yeah, just any kind of news thing. Kanye he hasn't said anything about Bitcoin, but like everybody in the crypto space right now is kind of tweeting about him and things like that.
Yeah.
It's just every day there's something new and there's something funny and something shocking that happens. I can't even remember. I used to think that I would remember all the things that happened, and really everything is so crazy that I'm desensitized to it as well. It's like, oh, just another crazy thing, just another day in crypto.
All right, so what have been a couple of the best resources that you've found that have really helped you?
Helped me to like invest
Just in
or to
general,
learn.
crypto. Yeah.
hmm Um, I think Jameson Lopp's website about Bitcoin is really informative.
Okay.
Anytime anybody asks me about Bitcoin, I usually send them to that site. I hope that they read it. I don't know if they do, but it is a really good resource. Um, in terms of like my everyday life and what I, trading or whatever, I really like Shitcoin Talk because they talk about different smaller market cap coins, and they're funny, and you can ask them questions and they'll answer you. And a couple of those guys are on my show now. Um, so that's a good resource. They'll literally, a couple of the guys have made their own shows on like how to mine, and they'll take you step by step through how to do that, mine online and things. Um, so just other helpful people in the community, I would say. Um, yeah, those are the good resources, but you kind of have to find them yourself because you have to see what you like. I would say be wary of the people that are on YouTube that maybe don't have any background investing or trading, but they just, want to make a sensationalized video.
Yeah.
I see some of those. Yeah. So, but it took me a lot of research to figure out who I like to listen to, like Ledger Status. He's really good at charting.
Yeah.
Um, Carpe Noctem.
Hmm.
He's great. 33 Moku or whatever he calls himself. Yeah. He teaches, or he's not teaching it, but he's actually just taking you through like what he's doing, which is really cool. Yeah. A few of those guys are good. I like, the Crypto Street podcast.
Yeah.
They always have a new interesting person that has a lot of experience. And in your podcast, I'm so proud of you. I found
Thank
out
you.
that you're in high school still, or you're graduating, right?
Yeah, I'm graduating in 2 weeks now.
Oh my gosh. I mean, to make a project like this and to be brave enough to do that when you're still in high school is an amazing feat. So I just applaud you so much, and you do really good interviews with really cool people.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. So, you mentioned your YouTube channel. Kind of talk about how that got started and then, what all you do on there.
Okay, so it started a couple of months ago. I had been tweeting a lot, and one of my friends, my developer friends on Twitter, contacted me and said, "You need to start a YouTube page." And I said, "What? I never even had a webcam. I don't even know how to use like a webcam or a YouTube or anything like that. I would just use YouTube to listen to music or watch funny videos or something." But he said, "You know what?" And I said, "Also, I'm not an expert at crypto. So what am I going to teach people?"
Yeah.
And he said, "It's okay. You don't need to teach anybody anything, but you're learning, and you're and other people are learning too that are your followers,
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
So you can interview people." And he's like, "You should interview these guys." And then he told me that I should interview Godson. Um and then so I was like, "There's no way those guys would be on my show." And then I asked them, and they were into it. So what I do is I do what I would do if they were, and I hope they are now, my friends, and I was just asking them how to do crypto,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's about. We always go through a little bit of Twitter and what the drama is for that week. We go through a little bit of what's going on with Bitcoin. But what I'm really interested in is, altcoins, how to find a good altcoin, what a good altcoin juicy chart looks like,
Yeah.
where you can enter into the chart. I mean, enter into the trade.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I always learn something new every week with these guys.
So, do you think you have maybe like a personality trait or a characteristic that really helps you in crypto outside of your law background?
Um, I would say probably yes. I don't really like talking about myself, so that would be like me describing who I am. But I guess I kind of have to because you just asked me, right? But yes, so I would say that I'm friendly.
Okay.
Um, I am grateful, and I'm open, and I'm not afraid of feeling stupid or looking stupid.
Yeah.
Um, and I think I do every time, but it's fine because I'm learning. And if I can learn one thing, or if one person is happy about the video, and I get a lot of really nice comments, then I'm going to keep doing it. So it's also not really caring about what people think as much.
Yeah, definitely. So, so what are kind of some ways that you balance your lifestyle with having your law firm and then also being in crypto?
Well, my life isn't really too well balanced right now. I think I need to probably get a better work-life balance.
Okay.
Or yeah, work crypto life balance. But I mean, I got to like 12,000 followers, I think, from over tweeting because I wasn't really having my own life, but I was still doing my firm. So I'm kind of 100% into both projects, but I think that's just my personality as well, is that like I want to do the best that I can in whatever I'm in and that I love. In terms of balancing it out, I think I probably need to slow down on the Twitter and focus more on either the YouTube channel or either learning myself,
Okay.
just like finishing my courses, and that's why I'm going to go to Consensus and in what is it, May or something like that, because I really want to learn. Yeah, so I think probably just less social media, more learning, which is probably true for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. So, what are some things you enjoy outside of crypto?
Oh, well, I love to travel.
Okay.
Like, I have a group of friends that I travel with, so we go to places like we went to Tokyo, we're going to go to Vegas, and hopefully Europe this winter. So I love, love, love to travel. That's my passion. I love music. I love to go to concerts. My favorite right now is electronic music. So, any kind of show I'll go to. Um, yeah, I like to do yoga. I'm kind of a yoga addict. I think it brings me peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps me because I don't meditate. I don't just sit there and do nothing. But I do need something to take my mind off of other things. And when you're in a pose, there's really nothing else you can think about.
So, you mentioned traveling. We both plan on going to the World CryptoCon in Vegas. Kind of touch on that and if you're excited or what your thoughts are.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited to meet you in person.
Yep.
Yeah, I plan on going to Vegas and having a lot of fun, meeting other people in this space. Mr. Backwards is going to be there, the Coin Shark. That's pretty cool. Altcoin Psycho, a couple other people. So, I just want to meet up with them. Every time I've ever met up with a crypto person, it has always been like the best night ever because, we're like-minded individuals,
Yeah.
and there's things to talk about, and everyone has been really cool. So I'm excited about that. And if there's a little bit of learning to be done, then I'll do that too. But otherwise, we're going to be in Las Vegas. So how exciting is that?
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do you personally want to be in 5 to 10 years? Do you still want to be in crypto? Do you maybe want to be retired, or where do you want to be?
Well, when I was younger, I always thought I would retire by now, whatever my age is, but I'm not retired yet. I would love to still be in crypto. I'm really excited to see what happens to it. If I can make a living off of it alone, that would be great. I would still like to practice law, but I'd probably scale it down maybe at that time. It just depends. I didn't even expect that this was going to happen to me, so I really haven't made a plan on. I haven't really made a 5-year plan.
Okay.
I haven't yeah. I don't know. I'm excited, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So, where do you see the crypto space, the overall space being in 5 to 10 years? Do you see more adoption? What are your thoughts on that?
I definitely see the market cap being higher, and I see a lot of more people um, joining in and investing, and I see the projects coming to fruition. Hopefully, yeah. So I think that it's going to kind of take over. I don't know if everyone's going to be investing in the markets. Like that's not something that all other people in the world will potentially be doing, but they might be involved in it somehow, and it might touch their lives. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I see it staying here. I don't think that it's going anywhere, and I'm excited about it.
All right, Bella, I really want to thank you. That's all the questions I have lined up. I'll kind of give you the floor and let you wrap it up with your closing thoughts.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful to you and to everyone else who's just so supportive. Um, and I want to be here to support you as well. Um, you know,
Yeah.
invest wisely. Don't just buy things because everyone else is buying them. And usually, if other people are talking about it, it's probably too late. So do your own research and find your gems.
Definitely. All right.
And you might be able to get rich.
That's all for the interview. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed talking to Bella. She is such a wonderful lady and a big part of our community. Please remember to share this episode via social media and subscribe if you are listening via iTunes. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next week.